Happy, happy Monday, everyone. I haven't done a live stream in a very long time, so we're going to give everyone time to pile on in because, folks, it's been a busy one, as many of you know, and I'm sure many of you are well aware. I was hosting a show over at InfoWars for a bit, and then I decided to take a month off because, well, politics sucks. And then I just decided to start working again. Been thrown into all of this full speed. Covering a murder trial while covering a story in Ohio, which I'll be breaking for you guys later on this week. Getting stories, exclusives, vetting people, figuring out things, holding your government accountable. Just been kind of busy. It's great to be back, though. Cool to be doing this live stream. It's been a while for me. It's been a while. And I'm trying to kind of go through all of this and figure out how does this work. Not sure really how it does work these days. But I'm excited. I'm looking at X right now. Rumble hasn't pushed up the notifications yet, so we're kind of live, kind of not. We're excited, though, for everyone to be jumping on board with us today and pile on in because we've got a lot to discuss. In my spare time, I like to hang out at courthouses, apparently. Ed is in the chat. Hello, Ed. Welcome. I was at the Collin County Courthouse. Went there on Saturday. Went there again today. I was on the road. I'm trying to break exclusive stories for you guys, and so I've been kind of busy. I was on the road, was able to get in on Saturday, was able to get to the courthouse, I should say. A lot happening there. There are people who are going to tell you that the Karmelo Anthony case about race, they're going to try to spin that narrative. It's all distraction. I'll explain it for you guys. I'll walk you through what I witnessed. There's a lot of people out there who I think are garbage human beings. And they're trying their very best to stir up a race war, stir up conflict, stir up something. It's a distraction. Why is it distractive? It's a distraction because the defense did a horrible job. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've been a producer for years. I've actually never seen a job as bad as what I just saw play out in court. The transcripts, shifting through all of it. There was no legal defense for this guy. He's claiming self-defense, and yet his legal team gave it zilch. The witnesses they put on the stand were garbage. They got completely destroyed by the prosecution. Collin County DA's office. I mean, you got to give it to them. They completely went over the target with this one. We're going to go through all of it, break it all down for you. The media is lying to you. You probably saw, I've been calling out certain journalists who are missing all the key parts, and I think it's intentional. I don't think it's accidental when I tell you that they're missing the key parts here. I think that the idea of all of this is to start up a race war. But most importantly, let's just get the BLM riots back out there. The casualties, about what dozen people who were killed during it, they don't care. It's all about ratings. And so they're really clinging on to this hope that the Karmelo Anthony case will stir up a lot of black hatred in this country, a lot of white hatred in this country. And people take to the streets, start going nuts. I don't see it happening. I don't. Yeah, you might get a 24 black supremacists who take to the streets. I was at the courthouse today. People who are dressed up like they were Black Panthers were there. They were present. They were in the parking lot. But so what? They might not actually be Black Panthers. We don't know. They could be. We see with the Proud Boys. And Ricky Taru was going out there and saying, hey, there's guys out there wearing my uniform, but they're not us. So it could be that. But I thought it was really interesting to sit back and watch everything that's unraveled over these last few days. And man, oh man, has the defense team done a horrific job. Collin County DA's office, incredible job. From the very beginning, from opening statements, from laying it out, saying this isn't about race. This is about somebody Karmelo Anthony, who took a knife and plunged it into another teenager's chest. When the medical examiner was on the stand on Saturday, that was the last witness that was put up there by the prosecution. It was just gut-wrenching. It was so bad that Karmelo Anthony didn't even want to look at the photo that was placed on the defense team's desk. That photo was, in fact, Austin Metcalf's heart. The stabbing, that one stab, I know everyone likes to sit there and say, who defend Karmelo, that it wasn't that, it was hard. He penetrated apparently the center bone, which is apparently, according to medical examiner, really tough to do. The defense team, as low as they are, decided to try to sit there and say, well, there's a possibility maybe he fell into the knife. Medical examiner saying, no. That knife penetrated his heart. Both sides of his wall were penetrated from it. And they had a photo to stare at. Karmelo couldn't even look at the photo. He turned away. When that photo was then brought over to the jury, a female juror turned away, or more accurate, she covered her mouth, according to reports. Folks, it is absolutely disgusting what's going on here. But it's not surprising. There are people out there who are trying their best to drum up the narrative. We have provocateurs who are going out there and trying their very best to go after and say this is a race issue. It's not, right? You can sit there and you can go after Karmelo and how he was raised. But I sat there and read Black teammates. They're underage, so they're not of 18, so they're not going to be identified in court records. And thank God they weren't. But these teenagers, these Black teenagers were brave enough to come forward and defend Austin Metcalf. And that's why I'm not going to let people get away with the race narrative. You know me, BLM riots, I was out there calling it all out. You know, I have no problem calling out the crime stats when it comes to Black on Black violence. You know, I have no problem saying that, you know, sometimes stereotyping is actually going to save your life. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there with those arguments. We're going to be very fair and talk about how proud I am of those Black students who came forward. And as tough as this is going to be, because I'm sure there were people in the courtroom trying to figure out who they were. I'm sure they're worried about death threats. But they were still brave enough to get on that stand and to defend Austin Metcalf because he cannot defend himself right now. They went out there. They said, Karmelo Anthony, it was murder. One witness saying specifically this was a murder. Another witness saying it was lethal force against non-lethal force. Karmelo Anthony couldn't even take the stand today. Why? Because he's a coward. He's a coward. He brought a knife to a track meet. Folks, I ran track back in my younger days. Never brought a knife with me. Never. And if you're a guy, how many times have you gotten a little push back and forth? Would it justify taking a knife and plunging it into someone's chest? A kill shot, by the way. We're not talking maybe you hit him on the side of the arm. We're not talking maybe you hit him in the leg. We're talking about an absolute kill shot. That Austin Metcalf, according to the medical examiner, had no way of surviving. No way. It's absolutely disgusting. I am infuriated when I'm sitting here and watching people who didn't pay attention to what actually happened. They have no idea what actually happened. None. And they're going out there and they're talking a whole bunch of junk. They have no idea what happened. No idea. And that's why I feel like I have to be the loudest one. You know, you guys probably saw on X too. I even corrected that Fox reporter that was there. I'm sure she's a nice woman. For those of you in the Rumble chat, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know most people don't even expect me to do Rumble anymore. I don't think people really think I'm a live streamer anymore. Although I'm not. To be fair, it's been months. But we're here tonight. I'm very excited. You guys are all jumping on board. We'll get into the details of everything. It's so crazy. And thank you for everyone who's in the Rumble chat right now. Where are we now? 71. I was actually just on with Alex moments ago. I'll post that interview once we sign out from here. But in the meantime, though, if you're going to do anything, though, I want to actually point our audience to the platform that I've set up. It's a way of connecting with me, staying in touch with my exclusives. I'm dropping another exclusive later this week. So if you haven't done so already, you got to head on over. IndependentNewsroom.com. That's the platform I've set up. IndependentNewsroom.com. Hit that subscribe button right there. You could subscribe. It's free. But if you want to support independent journalism and you want to make sure it remains independent, I just ask that you become a paid subscriber or you donate. Got a donation tab as well. Everyone complains. They're like, oh, everyone's selling us out. Well, you know who's not selling you out? Me. I'm not taking Israeli money. I'm not taking any money from Qatar. So support. All right, I've been doing hits back to back. So my voice, thanks Ed for dropping in the chat. It's a little cracked right now. But we're gonna get the ball rolling here. So I was at the Cullen County Courthouse today. And I just think it's so fascinating when we go back and forth and we listen to what's actually been going on. It's hard to get into the courthouse. It's very difficult to get into the courthouse right now. There's a very small number. I believe it's 17 people are allowed in to observe. You can't bring your phones with you. So for me, it's not beneficial because if I can't live tweet what's going on, why am I there in the first place? And I'm not a part of the approved media team. I did write the court, tried to ask to get on board. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I'm lucky enough to have some great quality people who are helping me out. But I've tried like dissecting everything and finding parts that the mainstream media is not going to tell you about. But to be fair, Daily Mail has done a good job, a really good job, and so has CBS on walking the audience through everything that was happening in the courtroom. It should have been televised. It's so frustrating that we don't televise these things. Why? Because those who want to create a corrupt narrative will do just that. I'd rather just clip something and show you, hey, this happened in court today. Take a look at this video. But unfortunately, we don't have that luxury right now. But as we're going through all of this, I want to keep reminding our audience, I keep reminding you all at home, it's your job to push back on all of this. Why? Because they are lying to people. I'm telling you, people have alternative motives. We saw both sides, right? We saw like this little, I won't say the R word. We saw people go out there, something about the only good cracker is a dead cracker. I think he's what, a pedophile? We saw that other woman who Savannah Hernandez was interviewing. Good on Savannah. It's a very scary situation going out there because these people are very aggressive. Some of them are, at least. Interviewing a woman who I look over, I said, I'm pretty sure that's wine in her hand. And it was wine. Just garbage, low-life human beings who are just like, I'm sticking with him regardless because he's black. Yeah, you're low IQ. But to be fair and balanced, there were people who also showed up. An individual who I just think is a provocateur, I should say. And it's all intentional. You know, Jake Lang popped in real quick, did his little stunt, and then left. Isn't it crazy how people could just pop into communities they don't live in, make wild accusations, make wild statements? And in fact, even before the trial, there was video circulating online. Apparently, he was talking to Austin Metcalf's father and was trying to make him feel guilty for not wanting to turn this into a race issue. Again, it's low IQ. It's bottom of the barrel people on both sides of this. And I'm just so fed up with it. You know, there's a lot of people out there who want to go viral. There's a lot of people out there who want to make themselves a celebrity. And, you know, I've spent a lot of my time just being a good quality person, a good quality journalist. And that's how I've been able to establish a following. I don't have to go out there and call someone's father days after their son was just slaughtered and then make it seem like they need to get involved in a race war. Absolute garbage, some people are. And they use it, right? It actually does nothing really for the movement of trying to keep Frisco, Texas as white as possible, if that's the movement you want to be a part of, or to keep it just to get the Indians and the Muslims out of the way. It actually doesn't help, right? Because when we're seeing these things, we see people who pop up who don't live in these communities and they're making really insane statements. And then they leave. One must wonder, what are you doing here, buddy? What are you doing here? Because you're not making an intelligent argument. You're not actually coming up with a strategy to keep communities safe. You don't actually live in this community. So why are you here? You're not invested. But this is what goes on. It goes on because it gets clicks. It gets clicks. It's gross, right? Like, listen, if I were to, tomorrow my journalism career ends, guess what? I've already got a business on the side and it's thriving. I just go on to that. This isn't my livelihood, but for some people, it's a livelihood. And so saying really stupid things that are egregious and are going to get the wrong type of coverage, but most importantly, the people that we don't want to make look like victims can now use that clip to make themselves look like victims. That's what he did today. Got a lot of scratching your head wondering, what the heck are you doing? And it, especially because it's happening repeatedly. So we'll leave it at that. There are low IQ people out there who I'll never publicly address. And I've said it to someone in text message too, who also is a white supremacist. You're actually doing more to help the other side than our side as white people. And one must wonder, I mean, you must wonder, is it intentional? I don't see a win for anyone. Unless, of course, you're playing for the other team. But let's pivot for a little bit before we give a lot of these losers any more attention. I've stayed away from the live streaming for a while because there really hasn't been much in the way of positive to talk about. Yesterday, and I'll dive into this too. Yesterday, we saw um, we saw something really disgusting from the FBI director. And I really try not to be that critical of him. I try to like hold back a little bit because I don't want to be a total black pill. But man, oh man, is what he did yesterday was absolute garbage. Going after Tom Fitton. Tom Fitton, the same Tom Fitton who has been fighting for government transparency for years. Tom Fitton, an absolute patriot. They decided to go after Tom Fitton yesterday. Why? Well, because Tom Fitton just won a lawsuit against the FBI, forcing the FBI to be transparent. Many of you guys are familiar. Thomas Crook is the individual who tried to assassinate President Trump. And obviously that failed, thank God. But you know what happened there? We were told that this new FBI was the most transparent FBI. And I guess if you compare it to what it was before, maybe you could make that argument. But we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting a better FBI. We're not getting more transparency. We're getting a whole bunch of redacted pieces of garbage pushed out. Right, there's 75,000 pages in regards to the Thomas Crook's incident, the case, the assassination attempt. And yeah, guess what? We haven't seen anything. Because why? Well, the FBI doesn't want to put it out there. And they're dropping documents out there that are heavily redacted. And we'll get back to the Austin Metcalf murder in just a few moments. But let's dive into the FBI for like a little bit. Because we have some real garbage human beings out there who decided yesterday to go after a patriot who has been fighting. He's been consistent. Tom Fitton has been consistent. Tom Fitton has been saying the same things that Tom Fitton has been saying for years in regards to transparency and fighting for government transparency. And he has not changed up. He has not changed up. Neither has Judicial Watch. They're holding both sides of the aisle. When they're in control of the White House, they are holding them both to their goal of accountability. And so for everyone out there who was yesterday, I saw the comments. I mean, it's like freaking sheep, man. Just effing think. Judicial Watch was our fighters under the Biden regime years. The only group who had the cojones to go out there and challenge everything. And how quickly people who are just like not independent thinkers quickly just changed up. The comments were gross. Low IQ, of course. Tom Fitton received, after suing successfully, this lawsuit's still ongoing, received documents that the FBI had to hand over because they decided to ignore a FOIA request, handed over some of these documents. Again, it's like 200 pages out of 75,000. Transparency, they call it. Handed over these documents, which were heavily redacted, very hard to read, but Judicial Watch has a group of really good attorneys. They tried going through it all. They tried their best to figure out what the heck this was all about. And of course, by the way, Gia's sitting behind me, so that's why my seating arrangement looks kind of funky. Uh-oh, now she's poking me. Because they do it to cast doubt, right? They're not going to give him everything that they want him to see. So he goes out there, and maybe he misrepresented something that was in a document. Who knows? Who knows? How quickly Kash Patel and his little rapid response account goes out there and says, clickbait. This is clickbait. Why would Tom Fitton want clickbait, you morons? He's not trying to monetize off of X. Judicial Watch has an arsenal of funds. You intentionally gave him heavily redacted information so you could find a little slip up and you could go after him. I know it's true because when I released, with Miranda Devine, who we dearly love, and Tucker Carlson, released the social media accounts associated, the accounts that were associated with Thomas Crooks, I reached out prior, like I always do, because I'm not a scumbag, gave the FBI time to comment on it. They didn't want to respond. I released it. They go, oh, this is false media reporting. Because their goal, their objective is to discredit us. But it was all true, right? Oh, those were his accounts. It's a way to discredit people. And you're either an intelligent person who gets it and doesn't bite, or you are just someone who is a sheep and doesn't understand how these things work. And there's a lot of sheep out there. I constantly, anytime I put out something and if someone disagrees with it, how quickly people pile up on you. I've had people just do the most ridiculous things. So they disagree with me on one thing. Oh, now I'm not a patriot. Now I'm just some deep state operative. Just like, The level of how toxic those on social media are, and they just choose not to be independent thinkers. It's just gross. But yesterday we saw the pileup on Tom Fitton and how quickly the FBI then shifted the actual less redacted version of that document over to another journalist so that they could run it as if they were going to both butt heads and go after each other. Stupid. Because that same journalist, and I commented on it, was very much in agreement. Like, this could have been given to Tom Fitton. And it could have been. But here's the argument now, right? So you lost your FOIA war, your lawsuit. Now you're forced to hand over these documents. You give a heavily redacted, overly redacted document back, which obviously violates FOIA now that you've proven with your own admission, Mr. Kash Patel, that you've overly redacted it. Then you took back some of the redactions, handed off to another reporter, which tells me that you probably did this a couple of other times with the other pages. So, I mean, Kash Patel is a lawyer, right? That's what they said. Now the judicial watch will go back and say, hey, judge, we would like an impartial third party to go out there and sift through it, somebody with the security clearance, and sift through all the other documents they put out there to see what else could actually be unredacted, because we think they're over redacting things, and it's not about national security, as you could see. I'd love to see that. You know, they thought they were tough. They thought, and this is the problem with the FBI director, and I've tried my best to not be, and I'm going to hold back a little bit more because we were rooting for him. You know, I feel like that Tyra Banks meme. We were rooting for you. We're all rooting for you, which he's screaming on Top Model. We were all rooting for him. And what happened? Well, nothing really. I mean, I love what he's done against the pedophile groups. The guy who wrote Government Gangsters, though, still has not made the arrests that were necessary. Discouraging, very discouraging. And so here we are wondering what the heck's going on over there. So I'm not that excited about this. I'm not that excited right now that we have to really just be very critical of him. You know, I know he's actively too. He surveils social media. And if you say something mean and he doesn't like it, he'll call your boss, try to get you fired. I know this. I know there's people out there who are friendly with them and will go after you and try to do little hit pieces. You know, we saw that happen to Kyle Seraphin. There was a piece that was dropped, Just the News. And it was like, what is this? And then you realize that a lot of the times there's a lot of exclusives that come from Just the News, and it's being handed off to them by the FBI, likely. Again, that's me insinuating. Can't say it 100% because I don't actually see the line of communication. But I can tell you that there's a lot of exclusives that they get. I could also tell you that they weren't very critical when it came to the Epstein files. And so it's just to me, it's just man, we're really just going to go out there and try to get other people to bully other people and then call ourselves professionals. And then they go out and they sue you. And it's crazy because these defamation lawsuits too, the first one just got tossed out by the court. You know, he's trying to bring it back in, Kash Patel. But it's defamation lawsuits, very expensive to fund. So you have to wonder who's paying for this. Then you also have to wonder who has time to actually claim defamation here, because you are a public figure. He knows the legal grounds for that. He knows how difficult that case is going to be to prove. And so it's just why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And you have to figure at some point the president's going to get really frustrated with this and just say enough is enough. Your drama. We don't want this. But it's very discouraging as somebody who really did support Kash Patel to see what he did yesterday. And I've tried to not be so critical. I've tried my best to be as nice as possible. But these people are just, man, such losers. Such losers. Tom Fitton's going to win in the end of all of this, though. He's got an arsenal of incredible attorneys. The FBI is in the wrong. And anyone who's going after them, to me, it's just garbage. Garbage human beings. And I'm glad I was the first one to join on the pile up against what they were doing to Tom Fitton yesterday. All right, let's bring it back. Folks, if you haven't done so already, I created a platform where you guys and we could stay in touch. It's called independentnewsroom.com. That's independentnewsroom.com. You can stop what you're doing right now. Head on over there. Become a subscriber. We have a free subscription service. Just type in your email address there. See, it's going to give me a... And then you can figure out if you'd like to join and become a paid subscriber. Now, the reason why paid subscriptions are so important is that's how I kind of figure out researchers, people who I could, have investigate things, PIs. It's kind of my budget for that. So if you'd like to support my work as an independent journalist and expand that budget a bit, we'd greatly appreciate it. Head on over independentnewsroom.com. You could donate, you could do a one-time donation or do a monthly donation on the website, or you could become a subscriber. You could subscribe on independentnewsroom.com directly, or you could head on over to my X page and do that as well over there. Independentnewsroom.com, again, is the platform that we've made for you guys all to join in. And I'll be releasing an exclusive later this week. I was in Ohio. I told a lot of you guys about it on the ground. I wasn't working on a data center story. I was actually working on it. I just kind of was around a lot of pro get data centers out of our community crowd. So I tweeted about that. But I was in Ohio because the Chinese are, it's so crazy, but they're being incentivized by our own government to come to the United States to open up factories here to make competition for American companies. And we're incentivizing it by giving them tax cuts. So I'm going to expose one in a Chinese company that's in Ohio right now and doing just that. I also went through sources and found out that they have foreign workers. They're bringing in the Chinese. Surprise, surprise. So that story will be released. Independentnewsroom.com is where you could find it. Folks, I'm glad to be back. If it's your first time watching, I have not been here for a while now. I've been hosting a show over at InfoWars. Many of you guys know InfoWars was shut down. And I decided to take like a month and a half off after doing that for about 7 months. And I don't know if I'm going to do a daily show. That sounds truly exhausting. But for right now, we're on the stream. I'm going to break down what's happening inside the courthouse in Cullen County because I'm out there. Today, I've only seen it in movies. I've never seen them in real life. But there were individuals wearing the Black Panthers uniform who made their way over to the courthouse. It was quite strange. Quite strange. The only reason why I won't definitely say that they were Black Panthers is I see this all the time. Proud Boys with all these people saying, oh, they're Proud Boys. And then we hear Enrique Taro say, nah, they're not. They're not us. But it was interesting, right? We've seen multiple people come out and say, testify. Black Americans, white Americans, people who were there, who saw what happened, say that Karmelo Anthony was wrong. We even saw a witness who was put onto the stand by the defense say Karmelo Anthony was wrong. Karmelo Anthony was wrong. We then also saw that individual say Karmelo Anthony provoked what happened. You can't claim self-defense. You can't actually sit there and say, I had to defend myself because you were asked 15 times to get up and go because you didn't belong there. The defense did a horrible job. I mean, you might as well have just not even showed up. You might as well have just represented yourself. And I don't know why you didn't take the stand. You might as well get your record set straight at that point. Unless there is and there could be, a liberal female on that jury, I don't see him making out. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And Karmelo's, he couldn't even look at the autopsy of the heart of Austin Metcalf's heart, which had obviously the stab wound that went through both walls. And so that's something that's big. He couldn't even look at it. Now you could argue, I think it'd be a tough argument to make whether there was intent involved here. I mean, he intentionally pulled a knife out of his bag. He intentionally opened it up. Obviously, it's a foldable knife, so he had to intentionally do that. So there's that element to it. But folks, I'm sitting here and wondering, what the heck happened in this country? When we have people intentionally fundraising just because the suspect's Black and he killed a white guy. And I'm not empathetic, but I feel bad almost. I feel really bad actually for individuals like Karmelo Anthony. Why? Well, because, if your family believed you were innocent and you were charged with murder, would your family sell their own home to make sure you weren't put in prison for the rest of your life? To make sure you had a legal counsel group around you who was going to fight for you? I mean, I hope, Mom and Dad, my parents would. I would hope if I got almost $1 million in funds tossed to me on a fundraising platform, my parents wouldn't say, we need half that to buy a home in a gated community because we're worried about our security. You have to hope that won't happen to you. But Karmelo Anthony's own family truly didn't care about him. That's my opinion. I don't think they cared. They so quickly took that money, bought a home in a gated community in Frisco, and said, we need it for security. So we had some half-ass attorneys out there trying to defend him, and they didn't even put on a defense, folks. There's no justification. I didn't even hear them say why he felt the need to defend himself or put up any narrative saying why he had to defend himself. So I'm not trying to overhype you up. I'm just saying that there wasn't anything that was done in court over these last few days that indicate that there was a need for self-defense. The defense, I'm assuming, is their only defense is going to be through the appeals process. We have to get an appeal because we didn't have an adequate attorney. Garbage attorney, garbage people outside the courthouse. I guess they're trying to intimidate the jury. I guess they're trying to stir up racial tensions. Garbage parents who don't care for you. I feel bad from that perspective for him. But my empathy, all of my empathy is reserved for the kid who lost his life that day, Austin Metcalf. Bright future. Thought he was stepping up. Thought he was going to protect his teammates. Thought he was just going to be an alpha male and say, hey, get out of here. And he got stabbed in the chest for that. Garbage human beings defending this. Garbage. You know, you probably don't know, but back in my much younger days, I was a little bit more of an aggressive woman. I'm a New Yorker by blood too. And so, there was this girl was picking on me back in the day on MySpace. It's a real throwback for you guys. And it was happening all weekend. She was calling me, recording the phone calls of her picking on me. And then she decided to record those phone calls and put them all over the internet as if she was like some tough girl. And I wasn't supposed to have MySpace, by the way. My parents were very, very strict, but I still had it and it got me into a lot of trouble. The next day, it was a Monday morning. I got into school and I'm like, I'm going to go find this girl. We're going to fight it out because she's trying to embarrass me on social media. And so I walk in because we were friends at one point. So I knew exactly what her routine was. Walk into the cafeteria, threw my books down, smacked her books down and gave her a push. I said, you want to effing go? Let's go. Well, she got cold feet, wasn't very tough anymore. But imagine she would have just pulled out a knife because I pushed her and then just stabbed me in the chest and said that I had it coming to me. It was self-defense. It makes you really think about things. It could have been any of us. I know so many people who got into little scruffles, especially men. It's totally normal for guys to fight. Probably not so much for us women to be barbarians, but for you men. So that's one of the many layers to all of this. And it's really frustrating to sit here and to hear people go out there and use it as an excuse to just be a bunch of pieces of garbage, pieces of human garbage. All right, folks, we're on Rumble. I don't really use Rumble anymore, so the numbers are pretty low, but I love everyone who's in the room right now. So what's up to the chat? I will do better. Here, that's like a weird face to freeze on. There you go. That looks a little bit better. If you haven't done so already, though, head over to our Rumble chat. Definitely give it a like. Also, if you haven't done so already, head over independentnewsroom.com. That's where you can go make a donation. Again, I use that donation budget as a budget for funding projects that I'm working on. Another report dropping later this week. PIs, researchers. I can't do it all myself. Producers. Like I've got someone who's helping me out with the court case right now. It all comes from those funds. So if you want to keep independent journalism independent and you don't want Israel or Qatar to pay for this show, head on over right now at independentnewsroom.com. That's independentnewsroom.com. That's where you go to subscribe or you can become a donor. And I greatly appreciate it when you do just that. Independentnewsroom.com. Hosting that show over on InfoWars, and hit the like button. Not because I told you, but because Ed told you. Ed, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Not really a streamer these days, but we'll get it together. I really miss, and I did a hit earlier today with Alex Jones. As many of you guys know, for about 7 months, I was hosting over at InfoWars. And then those bastards decided to take down InfoWars. But Alex is thriving. He's still building up his AJN network. I'll be joining him once he's got his feet in the ground and we're ready to go. But it's good to talk to Alex today. I miss that guy. It was really cool because I brag all the time that I was a warm-up girl for Alex. Like never in a million years did I ever think that little old me. I actually really wasn't even political back in my day. But I had the honor of being the warm-up girl before Alex went on air every morning over at InfoWars. So it was good to catch up with him. He really is a good person, man. He's a good human being. And it's always just so incredible to catch up with Alex. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Yeah, I did a couple of Viva Fry went on his show as well today. I'll be on Joe Pags in a little bit as well. We love Joe Pags. Owen Troyer has been asking me to come on his show. And we love Owen. I wanted to tell Owen he's wrong. I don't think he's going to have me on the show today, but he did ask me to come on last week. And I was like, Owen, I'm not dodging you. I promise. We can make it happen. Owen's ghosting me now. Because this morning I told him you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you on air you're wrong. So make sure you guys tag Owen in this and tell Owen to let Brianna on so she could tell you you're wrong. He'll love that. He'll love that. Yes, at Joe Pags later today. It's going to be good. It's going to be a busy schedule. But Gia's behind me right now. And I know she's kicking me because she's hungry. She wants her food. So we'll probably get over there soon. Folks, again, if you haven't done so, independentnewsroom.com. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter. That's where I'm going to go drop a story later this week, I should say. Work on exclusive, was just in Ohio. Got some film. I've been surveilling since April a factory in Ohio. And I'm going to break down what's going on and how our government is encouraging foreigners, especially, which is wild to me, right? Because the CCP, not our allies, not our friends. But, we're incentivizing them coming into our country, building factories, which we all know they're alliance with the CCP, or else you can't operate within that country. Well, anyways, we've allowed them, we incentivize them. They're in Ohio now. They're actually now, we incentivize a Chinese company to come into the United States and compete with an American company. It's so freaking insane. So insane. But that's what's happening in this country. Hey, Gia, Ed would like to see you. Hold on, here she is. Look, she stood up. She's like, all right, I'm ready. She's looking a little rusty these days. She definitely needs to get groomed, but not by the groomers, like the pedo groomers. We're talking about like a real groomer. She's looking a little rough. Hold on, let's put her up like this. Gia, say hi. That was your hello. Her little hello. So Gia, aw, she's so sweet. She just won't take off my lip gloss. So Gia needs a grooming. I mean, she's looking a little rough these days. She went to the dog park. It's been rough in Texas. The weather not ideal for a girl with long hair. She will get that all trimmed down later this week. But I think Gia needs her own show. I'm gonna start doing more cooking stuff. And I'm gonna show you too. She's good at hiding behind me. I'm gonna start showing you guys videos of me. Thank you, Ed. Making more videos of me cooking. I cook for the dogs too. I cook in bulk though, just scoop it out throughout the week. They love it. It's great for their fur. It's great for their health. It's great for their lives. This little girl, she doesn't realize how spoiled she is. Hold on, she's somewhere. She's hiding now. Hold on. There you go. It's the Gia and Brianna show. There you go. We'll do it like this. Here's my co-host, Gia Morello. It's great. My veterinarian refers to her by first and last name. Now she's looking away. She's a little camera shy. Just kidding. She's very full of herself. We actually put a mirror on the floor so she could, and she does it. She sits right by the mirror and stares at herself because she knows she's beautiful. All right, folks, we got a lot to go through, obviously, throughout the week. I'm going to be breaking a lot of exclusives. If you don't follow me on X, do just that, at Brianna Morello. If you don't follow me on Rumble, do that too. I don't really give Rumble much love. YouTube, I'm trying YouTube. I'm trying. Okay, I wasn't down with the YouTube stuff. I'm trying to get down with YouTube. I'm trying to figure out how to get into the chat so I could see what's going on YouTube. I didn't mean to neglect you guys. Over in the chat. Robert, hello. I appreciate the love. Sock Muppet, hello, hello. James, hello. Love you all. Sick, hello. Greg, hello. Let's see. Thunder, hello. Tim. It was the Jews who sent the money. I love you guys. Lou, hello. Thunder, hello. If I didn't say that. Ed's also in the chat. Ed, can't miss Ed. Oh, man, I missed a lot of you guys. I'm so sorry. Damn. Loomer fan club. Love it. Hello, my friend. Free Thomas Crook. Don't know why I would write that. We have a whole team of people. Thank you guys for jumping on. I guess I should. I could do the show thing. Yeah, there we go. Kind of works. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna get producer Pete on this. We're bringing him back. Streaming, not really my thing. I'm gonna try my best. I can't just talk to myself, and I've been talking all day today. I've been doing hits back and forth. It's been a fun, chaotic, fun day. But it's fun to be back. It's fun to get back up on here and do my damn thing. We got a bunch of stories again. Like I'm going to keep breaking, and it was crazy too over these last few days on X. The stories, anything related to the Carmelo Anthony murder trial, did catch a lot of steam. Why? Because the corporate media lies, and you can't trust them. But I'm trying my best sifting through all the information and bringing out the most important pieces of details for the rest of you. So make sure you do just that. Subscribe to me on X. I greatly appreciate it. If you do subscribe to me on X, you know that I post a lot of exclusives regarding my dog photos. So if you want to see cute little G and Giuseppe, the best way to do so is to head on over X, subscribe. That money goes towards, again, our budget. I can't do these exclusives without your assistance. So head on over right now. Subscribe on X or subscribe independentnewsroom.com. All right, folks, I'm about to wrap this thing up. A lot happening tomorrow. I look forward to seeing what's going on in the courtroom. As many of you guys know, it's going to be a little crazy. Robert, hello, and thank you so much, Robert. Let's see, I got this one up. Where can I donate to your channel? Send info. Thanks. Okay, Robert. So go right now, and I'm so grateful for you. So thank you for asking this question, and thank you for Loomer Fan Club for sharing the Rumble page right now. Robert, head on over right now, independentnewsroom.com, independentnewsroom.com. You'll see up at the top as a donate tab. It'll bring you to our donor box, and I'm very grateful for your donation. Of course, I do send personal emails out to those who donate, so if you'd like to do so, I'd greatly appreciate it. Independentnewsroom.com. It's also on my Twitter page too. If you go to my Twitter page, you see the drop down of like tabs. You can click it. It's right there, independentnewsroom.com, and then you'll see donate. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, that you guys are the big savers when it comes to all of this. I can't do it without your support. Well, I could. I just take money from Israel or Qatar. All right, folks, that does it for me today. Thank you for jumping on with me. I'll give more live updates tomorrow. We're going back to the courthouse. It's going to be crazy. We're hoping for a good outcome. We're hoping for justice for Austin Metcalf's family. And we're just grateful. We're grateful that the prosecution did an incredible job. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but hear me out. That guy I keep talking about, the guy who followed me into my stairwell and came into my apartment complex, he goes on trial in a couple of weeks. The people who are going to be prosecuting him are the same prosecutors in the Carmelo Anthony case. And so I will have that going for me. They're badasses, those prosecutors. And I'm very excited that they're going to be representing me and defending me and trying their very best to get us a guilty verdict in that case. I'll bring you the latest on that, though. It should get interesting. It should get very, very interesting. But I don't think people know. People are like, oh, Brianna, how do you... I'm like, these are going to be my prosecutors. These people are badass. They believe in your right to defend yourself. I know, and I'm proof. You have legal grounds to defend yourself. They will support it in Cullen County. It's a little fun fact for you there. All right, folks, again, head on over independentnewsroom.com. If you want to become a free subscriber, you can do just that. Or you can become a paid subscriber, which we greatly appreciate. Or if you'd like to support my work and donate, very grateful for that. Head on over independentnewsroom.com. You can click the donate button, do a one-time donation or a monthly donation, or you could subscribe as well. Love you all. Thank you all so much. Laura Loomer Fan Club. It's just my guy. The Loomer Fan Club. We appreciate it, my friend. So you're popping into X, you're popping into YouTube, Rumble. Thank you, my friend. Everyone else, thank you as always for wrapping up today's live stream. I can't talk for this long. So that's it for me. I'll catch you here next time. I'll keep you in the update for tomorrow. Again, I'll be outside the courthouse. It's probably going to get a little crazy. A lot of just low IQ people. Expect them to get crazy. All right, folks. Catch you here next time. Thank you for joining me tonight.